Get ready to crush your enemies and silence your doubters. You think words will save you? You think arguing will make you a king? Wrong! Welcome to the Power Playbook, where we forge warriors who dominate, not debate. Today, we're unleashing Law 9 of the 48 Laws of Power. Win through your actions, never through argument. This isn't a lesson. It's a battle plan. You don't talk, you don't plead, you don't waste your breath. You act, you win, you conquer. I'm here to hammer this law into your core until you're an unstoppable force of action. Brace yourself. This is going to be a relentless assault on your weakness. Listen up, because I'm not here to coddle you. I'm here to make you a titan. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Let that sink in. This isn't for the chatterboxes, the whiners, the ones who think they can talk their way to glory. No, this law is for the doers, the destroyers, the ones who let their actions roar louder than any words ever could. You don't argue, you act. You don't debate, you dominate. You don't waste your breath on fools. You show them who's boss with cold, hard results. I'm going to break this down until you're a living weapon of action, so you better be ready to move or get crushed. What's this law really about? It's about power. Pure and simple. Power doesn't come from flapping your gums, trying to convince someone you're right. Power comes from what you do. Words are cheap, words are weak, words are for the losers who can't back up their talk with action. When you argue, you're already losing. You're giving your opponent the upper hand, letting them think they're worth your time, your energy, your breath. That's surrender. That's defeat. Law 9 obliterates that nonsense. You don't waste your time trying to prove yourself with words. You prove yourself with actions that leave no room for doubt, no room for resistance, no room for anything but your victory. Let's tear this apart, because I'm not here to play games. First, understand why arguing is a trap. When you argue, you're putting yourself on the same level as your opponent. You're saying they're worth engaging with, that their opinion matters, that they have a say in your world. That's weakness. That's handing over your power like a fool. The second you open your mouth to debate, you're already on the defensive, trying to justify yourself, trying to convince someone who probably doesn't even deserve your attention. And what happens? They dig in. They fight back. They twist your words, they drag you down, they make you look small. You're not here to look small. You're here to dominate. Law 9 says you don't play that game. You don't argue. You act. You show them. You make them feel your power through what you do, not what you say. Now, let's talk about the flip side. Winning through your actions. Actions. That's where real power lives. When you act, when you deliver, when you produce results that no one can deny, you shut down every argument before it even starts. You don't need to talk, because your actions speak for you. You don't need to convince, because your results convince for you. You don't need to debate, because your dominance ends the conversation. That's what Law 9 is about. It's about being so undeniable, so unshakable, so unstoppable that no one dares to question you. They can't argue with what's right in front of them. They can't argue with success. They can't argue with power. And you're going to be that power. Let's break this down even further, because I'm not letting you off easy. How do you win through your actions? It starts with focus. Focus. You don't waste your energy on pointless debates, on petty arguments, on trying to prove yourself to people who don't matter. That's a distraction, and distractions are for the weak. You channel every ounce of your energy into action, into doing, into building, into creating something so powerful that it speaks for itself. Maybe you're in a competition. Don't argue about why you're better. Just outwork everyone and take the prize. Maybe you're in a conflict. Don't waste your breath on insults. Just outmaneuver your enemy and leave them in the dust. Maybe you're being doubted. Don't try to convince the doubters. Just show them results that make their jaws drop. That's how you win. That's how you dominate. Let's talk strategy, because I'm here to arm you with weapons, not words. First, you need to identify what actions will have the biggest impact. You don't just act for the sake of acting. You act with purpose, with intent, with precision. You need to know what will hit hardest, what will make the biggest statement, what will leave no room for doubt. Maybe it's delivering a project that's so flawless, so groundbreaking, that everyone else looks like a child in comparison. Maybe it's making a move that's so bold, so unexpected that it catches everyone off guard and leaves them scrambling to catch up. Maybe it's building something so undeniable, so monumental, that it becomes the standard everyone else has to live up to. Whatever it is, you make sure your actions are a thunderclap, a shockwave, a force that no one can ignore. Next, let's talk about timing, because actions aren't just about what you do, they're about when you do it. You don't act impulsively, like some reckless fool who doesn't know what they're doing. You act strategically, at the exact moment when it will hit hardest. You wait for the right opportunity, the right opening, the right moment to strike. Maybe you let the arguments play out, let the fools tire themselves out with their words, and then you step in with an action that ends the debate once and for all. Maybe you let the tension build, let the doubters talk their trash, and then you deliver a result that shuts them up for good. Timing is everything, and you're going to use it like a weapon to make your actions hit like a tsunami. Let's talk about the mindset you need to pull this off, because this isn't just about tactics, it's about who you are. You need to be a machine, a juggernaut, a force of nature. You can't be the type who gets dragged into petty arguments, who gets emotional, who lets their ego pull them into pointless debates. That's for the weak, the ones who crumble under pressure. You need to be cold, calculated, relentless. You need to know that your actions are your power, that your results are your voice, that your dominance is your argument. When you embody that, when you live that, people feel it. They see it. They know they can't touch you because you're not playing their game. You're playing a game they can't even comprehend. Let's go deeper, because I'm not done forging you into a weapon. You need to understand the dynamics of every situation you're in. Every single one. Whether you're in a boardroom, a battlefield, or a social circle, Law 9 is your law. Take a boardroom, for example. Someone challenges your idea, tries to argue you down, tries to make you look small. You don't take the bait. You don't waste your breath. You let them talk, let them think they've won, and then you deliver a result that makes their argument look like a joke. Maybe you roll out a project that's so successful, so profitable, that the whole company has to bow to your brilliance. That's not an argument. That's a victory. That's power. That's Law 9. Let's talk about social dynamics, because this law isn't just for work. It's for every part of your life. Someone tries to drag you into a debate, tries to prove they're better, tries to make you look weak. You don't play their game. You don't argue. You act. Maybe you show them up by outshining them in every way, by being stronger, smarter, more successful, more untouchable. Maybe you make a move that leaves them in the dust, that makes them realize they can't compete with you. Maybe you build something so impressive, so undeniable, that they're forced to shut up and respect you. You don't talk, you dominate. That's how you win. That's how you rule. Let's talk about the long game, because Law 9 isn't just about winning today. It's about winning forever. You need to create a legacy of action, a legacy of results, a legacy of dominance. You need to be the one who's known for doing, not talking. You need to be the one who's feared, respected, untouchable, not because of what you say, but because of what you do. Maybe you build a reputation for always delivering, always exceeding, always crushing it. Maybe you become the standard that everyone else has to live up to, the one they can't argue with, because your actions are too powerful. Maybe you create a system where your results speak for you, where your dominance is undeniable, where your power is absolute. That's the long game, and you're going to play it like a master. Let's talk about the risks of not following this law, because ignorance will destroy you. If you're always arguing, always debating, always trying to prove yourself with words, you're setting yourself up to fail. You're giving away your power, your control, your respect. People will see you as weak, as desperate, as someone who can't back up their talk with action. They'll drag you down, they'll tear you apart, they'll make you look like a fool. That's not power. That's pathetic. Law 9 is your shield, your sword, your crown. You don't argue, you act. You don't debate, you dominate. You don't talk, you win. That's the difference between a pawn and a king. And you're here to be a king. Let's talk about the art of action again, because I want to make sure you've got this locked in. Action isn't just about doing something. It's about doing something that matters, something that hits hard, something that leaves no room for doubt. You need to think like a predator, always one step ahead, always knowing what will make the biggest impact, what will shut down every argument, what will make you untouchable. You need to be strategic, calculating, relentless. You need to know how to make your actions speak louder than any words, how to make your results undeniable, how to make your dominance absolute. You're the one who sets the standard, the one who controls the game, the one who wins. That's Law 9. That's power. That's domination. I could keep going, because this law is a bottomless well of power, but I want to make sure you're ready to take this and run with it. You've got the weapons, you've got the mindset, you've got the fire. Now go out there and win through your actions. Don't argue, don't debate, don't waste your breath. Act, dominate, conquer. You're not here to talk, you're here to rule. That's Law 9, and that's your path to absolute power. Having considered that, what are your initial thoughts on Law 9 and its emphasis on action over words? Before I let you loose, let's talk about the Power Playbook. We're here to forge titans, to break down every law of the 48 laws of power, and to give you the weapons to crush it. If Law 9 set your blood on fire, smash that like button to show me you're a doer, and subscribe with the bell icon to join the ranks of the unstoppable. We're building an army of conquerors, and you're either in or you're out. Check out our playlist for more laws in the description below. Law 9, win through your actions, never through argument, is your warhammer. You don't talk, you don't argue, you don't waste your breath. You act, you win, you dominate. This law isn't for the weak. It's for the titans, the doers, the ones who refuse to be questioned. I've armed you with the fire. Now go shatter the world with it. I want to hear your battle cries. What actions are you taking to dominate your game? What results are you delivering to shut down the doubters? Roar it in the comments. I read every war plan, and your victories could fuel our next fight. And don't you dare leave yet. Stick around for a sneak peek at Law 10, where we'll unleash infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. It's going to arm you with ruthless protection. Subscribe to join the fight. Thanks for battling through Law 9 with me. It's been a war cry to forge your dominance, and I can't wait to see you crush it. Until next time, dominate through your actions, or don't bother showing up.